You're probably wondering if it's actually possible to rent a place in Cambodia for less than $200 a month. I don't blame you. That number sounds almost too good to even be true, right? When I first started looking at Southeast Asia, I thought the same exact thing. How could anyone live comfortably on rent that low without giving up everything? Well, the truth is you can, but it comes with some important trade-offs and compromises. Today, I want to give you a clear, honest look at what renting under $200 a month in Cambodia actually means. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just real talk. Let's start with Siem Reap, because if you're hunting for affordable rent, the city is a good place to begin. Siem Reap is smaller, quieter, and less hectic than Phnom Penh. It's famous for the Angkor Wat temples, but outside of the tourist spots, it has a surprisingly large local population and plenty of affordable housing options. I spent a good amount of time digging through Facebook Marketplace and local rental groups because trust me, this is where the real deals are. Websites like Airbnb and Agoda tend to show inflated prices for short-term stays that don't reflect what locals actually pay for monthly. What I found was promising. You can get a furnished studio apartment in Siem Reap for $150 to $200 a month. These places generally include a bed, a small table, maybe a closet, and usually air conditioning, although AC isn't guaranteed at that price. Some landlords offer it, some don't. So if you absolutely need it, you'll have to search carefully. One studio I checked out was in a quiet neighborhood about a 10-minute tuk-tuk ride from the city center. It had a Western style apartment with hot water, which is surprisingly rare for this price. And Wi-Fi was solid enough for video calls and streaming. The landlord was flexible about the lease terms. No long contracts, which is perfect if you want the freedom to move around or even try a few different neighborhoods when you show up. Keep in mind, utilities like electricity and water are often not included in the rent at this price. That means you'll want to budget about $10 to $100 extra a month depending on how much AC you use. You can get a local SIM card with unlimited data for dirt cheap prices compared to most Western countries. If you plan to work online, double check the internet speed before signing any sort of contract. Some places will have reliable connections, others won't. One thing that surprises a lot of newcomers is how important building relationships with your landlord or neighbors can be. This aspect is very different from the US, where you might not know your neighbors, even if you live next to each other for a decade. In Cambodia, personal connections often make a huge difference. For example, if you're friendly and respectful, landlords might offer you better rates, help you fix things faster, or be more flexible with lease terms. It's not just about business here, it's about trust and mutual respect. This also applies to neighbors. Knowing who lives around you can improve your safety and overall experience. Don't be shy about chatting with people, asking questions, or even sharing a small gift during holidays. These small efforts often go a long way in a culture that values personal relationships highly. Plus, having a friendly landlord means if something breaks or you need help, you're much less likely to get stuck waiting weeks for repairs. So when you're hunting for a bargain, consider not just the price, but the people behind the place. If you actually want to stretch your budget, guest houses and budget hostels that rent rooms monthly are another option. I found several places offering rooms for $100 to $150 a month. These rooms are typically smaller and could share bathrooms, but the guest houses are clean, safe, and well maintained. Many of these include Wi-Fi in the price or utilities outside of AC. This is a great choice if you want flexibility and a little more security, especially when you're new and still getting a feel for the city. Now, Phnom Penh is a different story here. It's a bigger, busier city with a growing expat population and more amenities, but rent prices are generally higher. Still, if you're willing to live a little further out from the center or share housing, you can find rooms for $150 to $200 per month, no problem. I looked at a studio on the outskirts of Phnom Penh that was going for $200 a month. It didn't have air conditioning included in the price, but it had a ceiling fan. The neighborhood was quiet and safe, but the kind of trade-off is what you'll need to accept if you want to keep rent that low in the capital. Guest houses renting monthly rooms in Phnom Penh are similar in price, but again, possible shared bathrooms and less privacy overall. On the plus side, you'll often get daily cleaning and a social atmosphere, which can be really nice if you're new in town and want to meet more people. Some guest houses even organize community dinners or group outings, which can make adjusting to a new country a lot less lonely. lonely. One big catch with these low rents, no matter the city, is that you're usually in older buildings. Don't expect brand new construction or luxury finishes anywhere. Water pressure might be weak, hot water can be spotty, and internet speeds can fluctuate. Walls are thin, so you might hear neighbors or street noise late at night. Security usually means a basic door lock. Forget gated compounds or 24/7 guards. Some landlords will ask for a deposit equal to 1 or 2 months rent up front, so be prepared for that. I've never had to do it, but long leases can be less common at this price, which can be good or bad depending on your preference for flexibility. One pro tip I can't stress enough: rent month to month if you can. This way you're not locked into anything, and if the place isn't working out, you can move on quickly. I met plenty of expats who bounced around 3 or 4 different places in their first 6 months until they found that right fit. Another thing many people overlook is location. Renting a $150 studio 30 minutes from the city center on a motorbike might sound cheap, but when you factor in the time and cost of commuting, it may not be saving you that much. Plus, if you want to be close to cafes, markets, and co-working spots, you'll probably pay a little more or accept a smaller place. Now, about finding these places, you won't see most of them on international websites like Airbnb. Facebook rental groups are your best bet. Join groups like Siem Reap Rentals or Phnom Penh Apartments for rent, and you'll see plenty of postings from landlords or local agents. Reach out directly, ask questions, and request photos or videos. If you're not in Cambodia yet, try to find a local fixer or someone who can check out places for you. When you visit a place, always check the basics: water pressure, hot water, internet speeds, AC, and look for mold or pests. Don't just rely on the photos you've been given, and don't hesitate to negotiate. Landlords expect it, especially if you're paying up front or staying long term. Here's a quick story. When I first moved to Siem Reap, I found a studio online for $300. That looked perfect, but when I went to check it out, their AC wasn't that cold, the internet was horrible, and I had no idea you could rent for so much less. I stayed there my first month and I fought that internet connection every single day, trying to get things done online. I was constantly frustrated, and it was hot season. I talked to locals that month and learned they make less per month than I was paying total for my rent. So can you rent in Cambodia for under $200 a month? Absolutely, but don't expect luxury. You're looking at simple housing, sometimes local style bathrooms, older buildings, and fewer amenities overall. If you're okay with living simply, embracing the local pace, and prioritizing budget and flexibility, this is a great way to experience Cambodia without blowing your entire savings. For many, it's the perfect balance of comfort and affordability. Quick behind the scenes note here. A few of you asked if I had merch, so I went ahead and put some together. They're simple, clean designs that I would actually wear while traveling or filming myself. It helps support the channel directly, and yeah, it looks pretty good too. Links in the description and pinned comment below if you want to take a peek for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.